All right. Good evening and welcome to the Chicago Communicated News Media On Point. I'm Wanda Carter, and this evening we're going to be discussing racism in politics. And I have two of my very good compadres online with me, Mr. Grady Norwood and Miss Lavette Haynes. And so, folks, what say you about racism in politics? Grady, you down there in Springfield, how does that feel? Do you experience any racism
Hey,
while you're down there
well,
doing what you're doing?
let me say this to you. Yes, racism and white supremacy do exist. So I've been doing this research project to show that if people talk about Lincoln, because this is supposed to be the land of Lincoln. This is where
Yeah,
Lincoln came from, Illinois. He was the 16th president. Of course, they assassinated him. Well,
right.
anyway, but being down in Springfield for 10 years with on former Senator Ricky Hendon's, I didn't realize until today when I came down here working for a client that most of the lobbyists and the legislators I knew personally. I said, oh my God.
They're new, you said?
I knew them personally. I'm talking
Oh,
about
you knew them
I know
personally.
them. They know
Okay,
me.
okay,
So all this stuff kind of came to the ahead today, even though we could question the reason why I came down here. So Thomas
right.
A got mad at me because I didn't call her Monday when I was down here. So I had to
Okay.
tell her today. I said, the only reason why I was down here, I followed your ass down. I said, oops, Ricky
Okay.
Hendon came to Springfield in 1993.
Wow.
I followed Thomas A down there because Ricky got elected as state senator. So I didn't realize we spent 10 years down here.
Wow.
10 years.
Did you actually ever move down there?
No,
Okay.
I stayed at Thomas A. them house, whatever. I didn't have to.
Okay.
But the point is, so today, all this stuff came to a head today. I said, oh my God, I know all these people.
Wow.
So my
Did you see
client is going to
Did you
benefit.
see, did you see Charles Howlett?
Not no, no, I ain't see Charles, but I got to see legislators that was down there like damn near 30 years ago. Wait, I said. So I stopped one of the well, he's a lobbyist now, but he's a legislator. So he started laughing at me today. He got gray hair, I got gray hair. So I started laughing, right? I said, you know what? When I first started came down, I had a head full of black hair. So it's just funny. It just brought back a lot of memories. But the point at the end of the day, everything comes through Springfield in
Yeah.
terms of a legislative. So if you don't have a bill in the House and the Senate and get the governor to sign it, and I know most of the guys, I know a lot of guys in Chicago that do all these protesting and all that. I say, that's not what I do. I'm gonna do
Okay.
some policy. I'm a policy guy. So I'm gonna take what they do, write it down on paper, and see if I can get 30 votes in the Senate and 60 votes in the House, and see if we can get the governor to sign it. That's all. That's what I do.
Okay. Okay. I like that. So that's that's what lobbyists do?
Well, the lobbyists get paid to influence legislation. So the black community need to be able to do the same thing that the lobbyist does.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So when you talk about racism, there's laws on the books right now that we're not taking advantage of that can benefit black people. So now we can question and talk about racism and all that. Yeah, it's just like, I look at it like rain, Grace. You make it too easy. I look at racism and white supremacy like rain. When it rains, I'm gonna put on some galoshes. I'm gonna put on a rain coat. I'm gonna give me an umbrella. Because guess what? I'm still going where I think I'm supposed to be going to do whatever I need to do. You see what I'm saying? I know
Right.
people say, well, you try to make this stuff too simple. But I watch this, them gonna shut up. I say, Wanda, if I want to contract with you to do some stuff,
Yeah.
you got a service that I need, right?
Right.
Right. I said, damn, Wanda got a service. I said, Wanda, how much you charge for it? You say $1,000. Now I got to figure out if that $1,000 go help me get there's nobody can stop. The point I'm trying to make is Nobody can stop you and I from doing business together at the end of the
Right.
day. Now we could say racist. I could say Wanda racist. She don't want to do business with me.
Okay.
She a white supremacist. She don't want to do business with me. There's nothing to stop. Now we can't do the micro. I mean the macro. No, I know white people. Well, white men control. But on the ground, nobody can stop you and I from doing business. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. Okay. Well, what say you, Levette? Because I want to show you guys a clip that let's see, that I got from YouTube. Check this out. About, oh, wait a minute. Now, did I do this right? I always forget to
Did you
check
ask me a question?
Oh, yes. The question was, what say you about racism in politics? What's your opinion?
I think it's sort of a broad question because I think that there are a lot of tiers to politics.
Okay.
And so you got local, you got national, you got folks unified under many groups. And I think that if we look at the power of groups and we see how they're functioning, the group that I see that's exerting their position are folks that are so-called racists or Trumpians or white supremacists that have somehow all come together under one umbrella, and that's the Republican Party. So you see that a group, they're amassing to be a bigger number, then you know that gives them more power in their position. So then they start to influence their point of view. So racism is inherited by those that created the system.
Yes.
So if you have racism in politics, it is only to give a certain group of people privilege. And so to say, is racism in politics, that's like saying, does racism still exist? Racism is only a group of people that exert their privilege in a society.
Right.
So my position is that pretty much what Grady is saying, nothing stops us from working with each other. And so if we change the narrative about what it is that we want, then talking about what others are doing, unless that power grows to the point where it then starts to hurt others. And so through legislation across the nation that's saying we're going to change the voting rules so that certain people don't have the right to vote, then that's racism that is exerting its power and its authority. And so how do we combat that is we have to continue to have these platforms where we're saying this is our point of view, because that's only someone sharing their point of view. So the question then is, what is our point of view as Black people here in America? What is it that leads us to be able to exert our authority and our power? And that is what we do, what we should be doing, identifying legislators who can give our point of view, putting them in office, getting dollars behind them. So it's a strategy that if we don't take those steps, then that power that's that so-called racist group, then they just continue to exert their authority and their power.
All right. That's a thank you for that critique. I appreciate that. I thought that this would be interesting to look at. This is a PBS. Go ahead, Grady.
Can I comment on what
Sure.
she just said?
Sure.
Racism is a strategy that white men use to stay in power. Okay. So we can't be mad at them because they want to control the world's resources. So the question I'm asking the black man is, well, let's take Africa. They keep telling us to go back to Africa. Well, every damn thing is over there in the ground. So why, if I'm going back to Africa, I'm trying to figure out, okay, how we gonna control these damn mineral resources? So what's wrong? I'm just asking the question. So we already got the stuff. We just, for some reason, we waiting on white folks to extract the resources out the motherland. What's wrong with us? What's our strategy to take over the mineral? Everybody else over there trying to get it, and we literally walking over the stuff. But we keep talking about, okay, what we going back to Africa for? Just to go and say I'm on the motherland? I'm trying to figure out.
No, listen, you can't go over there if you
some diamonds out the ground.
You are not welcome if you don't have resources to provide for you and your family. I've seen a lot of people who try to go, but they really want folks that's going to come and contribute. They've got enough poor people over there. And so it's like, what are your resources that you want to bring? What intellectual properties do you want to bring to build this nation? And so Steve Harvey has built a mega studio in Ghana.
Okay. Check this out. This is what PBS has to say about American public broadcast. This is what they have to say about race matters.
And an extraordinary scene in the nation's capital.
No justice. No justice.
Some police cruisers drove into crowds.
As a black man, every day I wake up and wonder, will I be able to go home?
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Race Matters, America in Crisis, a PBS NewsHour special.
Good evening, I'm Judy Woodruff. Welcome to this PBS NewsHour special, Race Matters, America in Crisis. The death of George Floyd at the hands of police in Minnesota has ignited outrage across the world and once again exposed the deep wounds of racism here in the U.S. Protesters have filled the streets in cities large and small, demanding justice and change. The vast majority have been peaceful, but there has been violence and looting, and there have been aggressive tactics from law enforcement. How Americans see all this is filtered in part through the lens of race, according to our new poll, one we do with NPR and Marist. 62% of Americans say they believe the demonstrations are legitimate protests. 77% of Black Americans feel that way, but among white Americans, it's 58%. 28% of all Americans say they believe the demonstrations are people acting unlawfully. What? We want to examine how we got to this moment and where we go from here. That is a long conversation, and we think it's important to start by listening to Black Americans. In days to come, all of us will decide what, if anything, will change. Tonight, we will ask questions about policing, inequality, and what it means to simply live while Black in the U.S.
Ooh.
But we begin with two influential voices who've thought long and hard about Black history and America's future. Filmmaker and producer Ava DuVernay's work has focused on the Black experience, including the film Selma, the documentary 13th, and the series When They See Us. Her media company, Array, has a new online educational platform about these issues. Darren Walker is the president of the Ford Foundation, which works to reduce poverty, improve equality, and social justice. For the record, the foundation is a funder of the NewsHour. Darren Walker, let me start with you. Why do you think what happened to George Floyd and the reaction to it has the hold on us that it seems to have, these massive protests that go on day after day?
So I'm going to stop there just so we can discuss. Hey, welcome to the show, Debbie. welcome to the show. Who else came on? Someone else came on. I guess they may have dropped off. We're talking about racism.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm blessed. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Good. We're talking about racism in politics. And so I was just showing a clip of what the PBS Hour had to say about racism. Hey, Anthony.
Hey, hi.
So what say you? What do you think about the clip? What the content of what they were saying that racism has evolved from? Anthony?
Well,
Debbie? Go ahead.
Race,
Go ahead, Anthony.
racism has been with us from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And even as a veteran, I experienced racism defending America and Germany while I was in Germany.
In Germany.
And so I remember when I would go to Nuremberg, there was places I could not go into because I was Black.
Really?
But yet I'm over there to help defend business. And sometimes we forget that the reason the military got their hands all around the globe is not so much to defend us, but to defend big business. So when we bring it back home, racism still rears its ugly head, because before we started moving into these various communities, most of these communities was nominally white.
Yeah.
And Irish.
Okay.
They had the jobs. And when we came up north, one of the things, I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Black and Blue.
Black and Blue?
Gray and Blue, Black and Blue. It showed the distinction between the South and the North. And one of the most compelling part about the miniseries was when the brother who was ending up with a white woman, when they said that they found more racism up north worse than they did in the South.
Okay? Yeah, I've heard that.
But then you got to understand, when we got up here, we are now competing for jobs with white folks.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the union system. They, for some apparent reason, they don't mind taking our tax dollars, they don't mind taking our union dues and benefiting from our money, but they don't want their money to benefit us. And so that racism still perpetuates itself in America.
Okay.
Should it be that way? Hell no.
Yeah, right. What say you, Debbie?
Well, I look at it from another perspective, because, I mean, we can generally look for it when it comes to people changing, but where I see it from, we're still living in modern slavery in our mindsets.
Yes.
Because of our generation, our ancestors, we came here on their back. So, which means through their prayers, through their persistence, through their consistency of looking at freedom as not just being a right, but most of all, a moral contract that God gave to us. So that being said, a lot of us are still, again, having the thoughts of the slavery mentality, white, green, purple, brown, yellow, whatever you want to call it, because we're still in that same, and we're in that same vine, as I want to say, in that same bloodline. A lot of the transitional, the common master, if I may say this, are the slave masters in the term, is still prevalent for today in the mentality of the descendants. So we're still operating in fear. The spirit of fear is very heavy. The spirit of hate feeds the spirit of fear, and this is the reason why we are constantly battling each other, because the love of God has waxed cold. It's been that way for some time, and man is slowly self-destructing because of it. And until we understand that, to look at the truth and let the truth set us free and not hold us back in mentalities, in actions, in behavior, because we cannot call it a division unless we are divided mentally. So the thing about it is, like a young Black man, because I deal with young Black children and white children, Hispanic children, as well as people. I work in a mental health hospital. So as I always tell my minorities, and I'm gonna keep this quick, if I always tell my minorities, do not allow the slave or the victim mentality to hold you back, because that's what it wants to do. It wants you to think that you don't have. It wants you to think that you have not the ability to fulfill your dreams and aspirations. And it doesn't matter what walk of life you come from or what you experience, is that once you think that you are free, you will be free. But if you always think that something is holding you back, you will always be held back.
Come on now. All right. Levette, Grady, you guys got any input?
I have to, you know what? I don't like agreeing with people, but there's a trauma we have not. She mentioned mental health.
Yes.
We have not addressed the trauma. I think we got trauma in our damn DNA. We have to. So until we start addressing the traumatic thing that happened to, I'm talking about Black people that's supposed to be descendants of slaves, and we cheat, everybody don't have the same experience that we've had.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They could come here and say they people of color now, but I guarantee you, the Freedmen's Bureau, I want to know how many people that the Freedmen's Bureau targeted, because those were the people that Byron Allen, let me tell you, he used us. You know, you heard of Byron Allen, right?
Yeah.
He used us. Do you know how he won that lawsuit against Comcast and Sinclair and all them big ass people?
How?
He used the Civil Rights Act of 1866. That's our law. He used that to whoop the white folks.
Ooh.
All that stuff that happened in 1800s, look, watch this. Between 1865 and 1920, there was thriving Black communities, even though we were segregated. Rosewood, Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, we were self-contained. We was doing good until somebody decided, oh, them Negroes doing too good. We gonna bomb this stuff. Now the question I always ask you is, okay. I studied Tulsa. I said, wait a minute, hold on. In 1921, there was the president of the United States. You had the governor of Oklahoma. You had the county government, and you had the local government. So all those people looked the other way while they bombed them. Hold on, watch this. Is Tulsa, Oklahoma in America? I'm just asking a question.
Yeah.
How the hell are you gonna bomb an American city and nobody retaliates? That's all.
Nobody retaliates. That is a good question.
Nobody retaliated.
You know, I never thought about that. You're right. Nobody retaliated. Wow.
Well, they dropped the bomb on. They dropped the bomb on the.
Watch this. You cannot bomb an American city, and America don't declare war on the people who bombed the city. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, they dropped a bomb on the organization Move in Philly. So that was more recent.
Okay. What happened? Did nobody go? Okay, did anybody get?
They are the ones that got bombed went to jail.
Okay, well, I'm talking about the people that dropped the bomb.
Nothing. That was America. Dropped the bomb on innocent civilians. But I want to get back to what the sister was saying about the mentality, because she is who we need to help us in the, I would say, in the healing of our community, because we are in our youth are mentally imbalanced right now. And it is through our DNA that we can't forget, just as any other ethnic group, they know what happened to their people. Mm-hmm. And part of our persona right now is the damage. You cannot escape what's damaged in you. But if you don't find a means of healing that damage, then you remained a damaged individual.
That's right. You remain damaged.
Through racism, what happens is that we need more resources to fund those things that will help us repair. And that's what reparations is. Reparations is just not a word that means you get money. It repairs you. And we are a very damaged people. Now, understanding that damage does not mean that you stay there. You have means and methods where we're funding mental health institutions to help these young people who have come out of juvenile with drugs that's been put in their system, and then they're put back in society unable to cope, and families unable to cope with them. So we are in a dire circumstance where that funding is needed instead of going to the white community to help in their recovery of opioids. All of the drug funding is going to people who are strung out on opioids, and they're getting housing, they're getting medical care, they're getting all kind of resources because they took opioids. Where our children and our youth are just being on the street and turning on families because they don't know how to heal their brains. Yeah. So something is gone awry, and we need to have someone lobbying in Springfield and the government to release those funds so that we can help our people.
Well, can I I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna shut up. So when you talk about republicanism, what about the Democrats? And I don't want nobody to say I'm a Republican. That's the first thing they say, Grady, a Republican. No, the Democratic Party has ran Cook County for 50 years, and I got the proof. You know what I'm saying? And the city of Chicago has been ran by Democrats for the last 50 years. So the Democratic Party got to take some of the blame for this dumbass. Oops.
Now, Grady, now who blamed the Republicans? I just want to know, because I'm talking about society, period. Because we have right now that Build Back Better. Maybe that would have done something, but the Republicans did say no. Mm-hmm. So we it's like, okay, so with those funds
I'm talking about on the local level. Ain't nothing.
But no, we can't just stop at local, because
hold on. Politics start at local right now.
Okay, I didn't say stop. I said we can't stop at local. If we're not dealing with the national government that funds states, then how can we then go to the state and say we need resources when those resources are not coming from the federal government? So if we're able to have those funds come to the state, then go and demand those funds from the state, from the city. I don't care who you are, you're Republican, you're independent, you wear pig nose. I don't care. We need help. And so, us as Black people talking about Republican.
Let's count money. I mean, let's count numbers.
I'm talking about. Listen, hold on.
Let's be real. It's 118 state reps down in Springfield. It's 60 state senators. You need 30 votes wherever you get them from. Okay, at the local level. I'm talking about the state level. So we got what? We got 10 Black state senators. We got 21 Black representatives. So now the question is, since we got an agenda, we need to get them 21 that say they Black to talk to at least one of their other colleagues. We need 60 votes at the end. What's our agenda? Our agenda? What's the Black agenda? Because if we don't have the votes, when they do roll call at the county, at the state, at the city council, if we don't have the votes, why are we calling for a roll call?
Now let me ask you this question. Is there a Black caucus?
Yes, there is.
Okay, so what is the Black caucus's agenda?
Well, they got 4 pillars. One deal with education, one deal with economics, and there's 2 other pillars that they've been dealing with.
Now they need to be coming to us and saying, this is what's available. Because how can you have an agenda if you don't even know what the discussion notes are? And so they need to come to us and say, look, y'all, this is what came to the pipeline. This is what the federal government has. What we put them in office for, Grady?
Why do we have to make them do it? We're going to have to make them do it.
We got to make them, but right. And I agree that we need the agenda.
Somebody, hold on. What did you say? Wait. Somebody said the magical, we got to make them do it. They not going to do it. We have to make them do it.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
Let me bring you guys up to speed. Washington just voted for a $1.5 trillion spending bill. It's 2,741 pages.
Wow.
The huge overall bill was stocked with victory for both parties. For Democrats, it provides $730 billion for domestic programs, 6.7% more than last year, the biggest boost in 4 years. Republicans won $782 billion for defense, a 5.6 over last year level. That's the new budget.
That just happened when? When did that happen?
Just happened.
Just as I spoke it.
$1.5 trillion budget.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's where the money and that's where the money is.
My God is real. Okay. Yep. As we speak.
$730 billion is set aside for domestic programs.
Now we go to the state and say, look, you got the money. Yep. All right. Now, what is it and how is that going to trickle through the 4 tiers that Anthony is talking about? And so we need to be active.
I want to jump through the phone and hug you because you said exactly what the 4 pillars that he hit it on the head when he said it.
But it goes back to Grady too, because Grady hit the nail on the head. 50 some damn years that we've been up under the tutelage of the Democrats in Chicago, Cook County. And 40 some years, we've been up under the tutelage of Mike Madigan. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about Mike Madigan. Mike Madigan have stopped reform for over 40 some years.
He had the power.
He had the power.
He had the power.
He was given the power.
He was given the power.
They said that
hey, watch this. Hold on. Let's go back. Y'all just said given the power. What y'all mean by that? The 21 black faces did whatever Madigan for the most part. You might have 1 or 2.
Absolutely.
Them 21
Madigan paid for their campaigns.
Listen, when you have corruption that is inherited, that's the machine.
Yes.
So you know, having those little mealy aldermen, they're fighting a machine that is finally coming to its knees. Now we need to be the oil to go ahead and move things, because we are more aware now than we were 20 years ago. That's and so right. we are able to deal with the language. And look, like Martin Luther King say, change the language, get the narrative straight. Look, and once we start talking the right narrative, then that's what opens people's eyes up. So as Grady said, what is our agenda? But we first need to know how to write the agenda according to what is already laid out. Because you can't just say, okay, my agenda is, pie in the sky for the West Side.
Well, check this out.
What?
If you guys look at this here. This is what I want to show you. This one. Is it this one? No. Oh man. Keep talking. I'm looking for another video that I put up there, but I don't see it.
But just to add, I got a comment on what Levette just said.
What?
She said Mike Madigan, who was the speaker for 40 years.
40 years.
I thought it was 50. Oh. 40 for Speaker of the House.
Well, he been in charge of the state for 40 years. So that means that he studied our growth as a black section of town for 40 years. For 40 years.
Yeah. That's right. He did.
He a Democrat, right?
Yep.
See, I don't believe in them labels and shit. I don't either. I look at when I walk out my house, I say, man, this shit fucked up. So Levette talked about resources. So we got like 18, 20, I don't know how many black alders we got. So you only need 26 votes to get any damn ordinance passed. Why the hell, why we haven't given these black politicians at the city council, at the county? It's 17 county commissioners. 5, 6, 7 of them are black. So we only need what? You only need 9 votes. You mean to tell me you can't convince their colleagues to come up with 2 or 3 extra votes? If we got 18 already, we only need what?
Well,
we need, 6, 7, 8. You mean tell me out of 50 months? I'm sorry, y'all got me.
Go ahead, Mr. Westside.
Yes. I'll go. Yes, and I'm proud.
Westside coming out. I know. Me too. Wait till I finish.
Hey, Cheryl.
You know what people say? Look, you know what people say about me? They say, "Where you say you from?" I said, "I was born and raised on the West Side, North London."
Hey, how you doing?
That's what they say. You don't sound like no West Sider. I said, damn, did they assault me?
Grady, you a mess, boy. Hey, Cheryl, how you doing?
Assault me. I said, so guess what my dumb ass gonna say? Well, what a West Side? Remember, I'm a West Sider, right? I said, so since y'all say y'all questioning my credentials or my pedigree, I said, okay, well, look, my dumb ass asking somebody else don't know shit. Ooh, I'm sorry. I say, well, what a West Side is supposed to sound like? Guess what I'm set up now. You know what? I'm gonna shut up after that. Guess what they said? We don't know, but we know they don't sound like you.
Oh no. Hey, Cheryl, how are you doing, Miss Jones?
I'm doing well. How is everyone? Thank you so much for the invite. I wanted to come and stop by and see how things were going.
Well, we're talking about racism in politics, and it's included. Racism is a part of the fabric of America. All the systems they developed were integrated through racism. So racism was integrated through all the systems. So it's in the fabric, and we have to find how to get through the fabric to unravel some of that.
Did you see what Orland Park did to Kim Fox?
What?
They said Orland Park board vote no confidence vote on Kim Fox, and they asked Kim Fox to resign.
Oh my.
When did that come out?
Hello, what's
it happened today?
I'm glad you said that, because they had the Constitution. I'm finna pull out the Constitution now. They had a constitutional right to do that, whether we agree with it or not. They had a constitutional right to do that. Okay, just like we got some constitutional rights. We need to move on in terms of we want to have I keep hearing y'all talking about the Constitutional Convention. We can do that.
Yes,
we can do that.
We need to do that.
We got to get out there, do some petitions,
and
put it on the ballot or whatever, or the referendum, whatever they call it. But guess what? They don't allow you to do 3.
Oh, really?
That's what they'll do. They'll pile it up for 3. So we come in at number 4 and say, well, you got to wait till the next one.
So we need to be a part of the first 3.
Yes.
Well, the question is this: the Black Caucus voted for criminal reform. Did they go too far? Now, yes, we had folks sitting at Cook County Jail for 7 years because they was indigent, didn't have no money.
Yeah.
But the question is, who let the violent folks out? Was that Kim Fox, or was that these damn judges?
The judges.
And then when you go to Tim Evans gonna shift the blame. The police gonna shift the blame. And Kim Fox is left in the middle. Okay? Now, I raised the question. If I done pistol whip somebody, hijack somebody's car, and you put a damn ankle bracelet on my ankle, and you let me back out, what the hell you think I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
Commit some more damn crime.
Yeah.
So why are you letting me out?
Well, I guess it's called second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody
I gotta
deserves a
say
second
this.
chance.
Anthony is right on point. Now watch this. You just mentioned the chief judge, right?
Yes.
We went through all this stuff to get him to be the chief judge.
Yep.
We let these people out, but guess what? Kim Fox gonna get the blame for it. So why the hell she ain't crying? It's the judges are the only one that can put your ass in jail, take you off the street. The police can only
they
hold
let you out. Yes.
The police gotta let you go after so many times. Even the county, the judge is the one to take people off the street.
Right. That's why we need to know who these judges are that are running for election and re-election. Because the only time we see the judges is when we're in court, standing in front of them with our children, our relatives, trying to figure out how to get them out of trouble.
Yes.
So the question I would ask the chief judge, Tim Evans, I said, Judge, Chief, why you letting these people back out on the streets? You know all they're gonna do is commit some more crimes. Why you letting them out? Why you letting them out? Who has influence on you to let these people out? Even though they on ankle bracelets, but they still committing crimes. How's they getting out? The judges let them, their police, can't none of them people let these people back out on the street but the judge.
Yep.
All right. So what should we do about that?
Well, I think
unelect Tim Evans as a judge, so he won't be the chief judge. Or we could get him an agenda. Somebody mentioned that earlier. We got to give Tim Evans an agenda. No, nigga, no, you can't let these criminals. You can't let these criminals out, no matter what, even if they black. We can't let them back out on the streets, because all they're gonna do is come back and terrorize the black section of town. Tim, what's up with you, man? Why you doing that?
Yeah. All right. Cheryl, got any suggestions, comments?
Well, I think that my thoughts, my suggestions may be a little bit unconventional, but it works. Okay. So everybody has ideas and ways to change things. As a race of people, we have, our ideas, but I think I just strongly feel like there's always been that one element that we sleep on, and that is prayer. Prayer along with, not just prayer alone, but truly prayer along with the knowledge that we have, as well as the actions. Okay. All those elements together, I think that there's a greater chance for change. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately speaking, I mean, really, if you really want to get deep down into this thing, like really deep down, truly, we know that racism comes from the evil spirit, right? Mm-hmm. We know that. That's really where it comes from. So, and we can't fight, a spirit with sticks and stones. We cannot. It doesn't make sense. Even the word teaches us that we can't fight evil spirits that work through people with sticks and stones. You have to fight with what that is, that what you believe. And if we are believers in God, we have to acknowledge him first, then put all these things into action. Okay. Because we're going to forever, I just feel like we're going to forever, be trying to fight this battle you know, with words, and I feel like we're trying to fight it with everything other than the greater power that can really and truly help us. You know, I've always felt that way. I remember, you know, when the Mike Brown situation happened, I grew up right where he was murdered. I grew up in Ferguson. I was born and raised in St. Louis all my life before moving to Chicago. And I remember the scene in my brain was it was like a standoff, you know? It was cops standing on the Quick Trip parking lot with all the Ferguson citizens. I mean, it looked like a war scene. I mean, it was like the side of the citizens and the side of the police, you know, and the police had their shields and their helmets and just all this. And I'm looking at this photo and I'm just like, I think we're fighting this the wrong way. You know what I mean? Because it's not for so long, you know, I've ever since seeing that, and even, you know, growing up as a kid, when I saw things, I always felt like I don't understand how this could work like this. You know what I mean? I know that, you know, many of us have so much passion, and I love that. I do. I love that we have this passion to fight for our people and each, you know, fighting for each other and standing up for what we believe. But I just feel like there's that one element that we kind of miss. You know, I feel like we kind of miss it. But if we mix that element with our knowledge, you know, and put it into action, I think that there could be a greater opportunity for change to happen. That's just me. That's just my thought.
All right.
So,
I promise y'all I'm gonna shut up.
I don't believe you.
She talked about the spiritual. Hold on, watch this. She talked about the spiritual, and I got it. Because I'm thinking every block you walk on in the black section of town, it's 2 or 3 churches. So obviously she ain't getting it. And then when you talk about the police, if you look at the old slave patrol, if y'all ever did the history on it, that was the beginning of the American police. And guess who the slave patrol was trying to control? Black people movement.
Yeah.
So why y'all surprised that the modern day police is still doing what they did when they formed the slave patrol? Why y'all surprised?
Yeah. It was a slave patrol. That's what they were initiated for.
That's what Black Friday is. Black Friday, I don't know if Black Friday was even created in maybe St. Louis or Detroit. And it had something to do, you know, that's why someone was saying how the irony of celebrating Black Friday when its connotation was very negative. Okay. But I would just like to say that I think when we have this broadcast, it is for us to discuss, because my perception is to share information that I have gathered through the week. But Ms. Green, if you can see, I'm a praying woman. And just as I was talking about that Build Back Better bill, Mr. Anthony Travis announced that it's been passed. Now that was like, to me, that was God Almighty. And I think that all of us are in prayer. When we have these broadcasts, it is definitely to discuss, but you know, God first in my life.
Amen.
And my family, then my business. And so I think that, you know, God has given us a discerning spirit to share the information, because if we don't talk amongst ourselves about our condition, it may repeat itself. Yeah. And so we need to be aware of the circumstances, you know, because the people in Russia and Ukraine did not know that when they woke up the next day, that it was all hell. And so that is something. And I think about those people, you know, and then the Africans that are over there that are stranded, you just going to school. Next thing you know, you're being forced into someone's war. So we never know what may happen between this minute and that minute. So I think that, you know, if we prepare, like, I would like to have a conversation about survival. You know, I think, you know, when the Hebrews were lost in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, I thought the other day, I was like, I don't drink enough water, right? And I said, you know, so I'm trying to, you know, bring in more water to my table so I can drink. And then I thought, I was like, wow, those Hebrews, they lasted 40 days and 40 nights with very, very, very little water. And so I just say that to say, we are in a time that we've never seen before. And it is a lot to discuss. And I don't think that we're dwelling on the negative as much as it is discussing what is happening out here and then trying to find solution, because I am tired of the complaining. I want to have some action.
Amen.
I want to create that agenda and put that. And so, you know, Wanda and I, we're a part of another organization called Garfield Park Advisory Council, and we are stewards over 184 acres on the west side. And the circumference of that park is a lot of crime. And so we're meeting with the police on Tuesday, to talk about how to combat crime. You know, so a lot of what it is not enough people at the table. Yeah. Because we've been doing this 25, 30 years, and people come and people go, but we're still here. Yeah. We're still here. And this is we're in the battle. We're in the front line. We're on the vanguard. But in the meantime, when we're late at night and when we're talking to each other, and we're not, no cameras, anything, we're talking about how God is almighty. You know, and I'm a singer. And in my songs, I have a lot of songs that are redemption songs. You know, will heal your spirit and move your soul.
I love it.
I'm gonna invite everybody to my show. You can hear what I'm talking about.
So let me say this. I swear to God, I said I was gonna shut up. I tell my social, because I'm an economics person. I tell my social service people, I say the best social service program for a Negro to have a job or a business to feed us, so he got some money to come. We keep trying to make this a social service and the police. No, it's economics.
Yes, exactly. It is economics.
We can't have people that don't understand economics at the forefront of what we're trying to do. That's the problem.
That's true.
That's our problem.
And you know what, Grady? And that's what Wanda and I have been working on. Yeah. And Wanda's been promoting for like a year, is that the Section 3 program where we can get funding for these people and get them employment. Why
y'all ain't never asked me about Section 3? I can show you.
Okay, brother, let's have a conversation.
We asking.
No, we're gonna have a conversation. It's 5 minutes.
I'm gonna show you policy stuff. I can name all the people that talk about Section 3, but I got some policy stuff.
Well, you who we looking for? Huh? You who we're looking for?
Yes. Okay, that's what I've been here all the time.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I didn't want to be, because everybody jump in front of me. I said, okay, good. Go on. I don't want to be the face of this shit anyway. But they jump in front of me, they get a little bag, and they disappear. I'm down in Springfield pushing Section 3 stuff. That's why I'm down here.
Hey,
Mr. Grady, we need to talk, because we really want to.
I'm gonna show y'all. Look, watch this. Section 3 come out of 24 CFR Part 135. Y'all ever heard of that before?
Man, you just told us. We know. If you don't know, you better ask somebody.
Thank you. That's what I operate from, the law.
Okay, so when are we gonna talk? When are we gonna meet?
Whatever y'all get ready.
We ready. When you get on that train, call us back.
And guess what? I got on the train because I didn't want to drive down here. I had a chance to think.
Wow.
Yes. So you on the train now, Grady?
I will get on the train at 7:30.
All right. Well, listen, can you communicate while you're on the train?
I have no idea. I don't know if they got Wi-Fi or whatever to put. I need to
Okay,
get up.
I'm quite sure this is 2022.
Now I need to get out of here where I'm at.
Okay, go ahead. We finna end this show anyway because we finna start the property tax show next. So thank you, everybody.
I gotta go, y'all.
Okay, we'll call you back.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get back to the city until like 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Wow.
All righty.
Okay.
Take care.
All right.
Have a
But
good
I gotta
one.
get out of here. I don't want to miss my
care.
train. I ain't trying to be stuck in Springfield.
Thank you for your input.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for your input. And I shall see you later. Tomorrow we're doing the woman to woman show. I'll send out invitations and maybe we'll talk about maybe we can talk about
it's Women's History Month.
Yes, Women's History Month. I was just trying to think, what women should we highlight? I mean, all of us are doing many positive things. Maybe we need to highlight ourselves. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Think about it, lady. Think about it. We need to talk to more. Okay, so I'll see y'all later. Have a good night.
All right, Wanda. Thank you.
Bye-bye.